I've been a fisherman since I'm about 5 or 6 years old. Of course, for the first bunch of years I just used bait. But then as I got older and I got a little bit more sophisticated in my fishing techniques, I started using artificials. Started out mainly with bucktails and small rubber baits. And then as I started catching bigger fish, I started needing bigger lures. A plug is a surf casting fishing lure. Usually the larger of the lures are called plugs. I got into this business because I have been a long-time plug user, and in the beginning I wasn't making much money, so I had to kind of go out on my own and start making my own lures because they were very expensive and it was a lot cheaper to make my own lures. A turning block is a block of wood that's the lure before it's turned on a lathe. That's why we call it a turning block. It's my table saw. I started doing that during my lunch hour at the job I was working at. I had a machine shop available to me, and that's how I got started. I scratched reference marks, which gives me the center. My first lure that I made actually as a business venture was a lure that I eventually patented. It's called a bottle darter. It's a combination of a darter and a bottle plug. It combines the action of those two lures. And a fellow that I worked with saw me testing it, wanted to know where I bought it. I told him I made it, and he asked me if I would make him a dozen and that he would buy them from me. So I agreed. I never saw him again, so I got stuck with a dozen lures. So this is before and after. This is a before it's built. And this is after. You can see now there are grommets in place, there's a swivel in place, there's a through wire going through, and it's got the tail twist on it. And started using them and catching fish like crazy, and I decided that it's probably a good idea to patent this lure because people were starting to see that I was catching a lot of fish with this when they weren't catching anything right alongside me. So I patented the lure before I produced it, and it's grown into a business.